Hi folks, it's Andy. I hope you're having a fantastic day. Quick, very informal video. I'm here to talk about the latest addition to our KendoStar imported series, the HIRAMEKI FT hybrid Kendo uniform set. We're going to look at the Kendogi and Hakama. I'm going to flip the camera around. It's super informal this, all right? I've got no special lighting, no microphones, nothing like that. It's all on my AirPods and my iPhone. But you're going to be able to get the idea of what this product is all about. It's a cool little product. I like it quite a lot. And I'm going to show it you. And I'm going to compare it with a similar product from the KendoStar lineup as well, so you can make a decision as to which one you prefer. Okay, so here is the HIRAMEKI FT Kendogi. As you can see, I've had my name embroidered on it already. This is one I have used. I wanted to get it. I wanted to give it a try. Try it out for Keiko, give it a wash and see how it performed before I sort of put it up on the website. So this one has been, I've washed it and I have used it. So it is, it's not necessarily brand new, but you can see that it is, you know, it's not like I've worn it a lot. Essentially, the design of the Kendogi is a single layer type Kendogi. Like this, you can see, and it has the hishizashi at the bottom like that. So if you like that sort of design, otherwise it's a standard orizashi type you know, fabric. It's very thin, it's very lightweight. If you hold it up to the light, which I don't have a light behind it, but you can sort of see the light come through it. It's kind of it's very lightweight in that regard. Now, what it is about this HIRAMEKI FT uniform, what's really interesting about it is it's a combination. I think it's 60% and 40% of polyester and izome, genuine izome cotton. It says on here, actually, yeah, it's 60% cotton and 40% polyester. All right, so what you do have, this is genuine izome. All right, so this is genuine izome. It's going to rub off on you like that, you see. Okay, so it looks very much like a traditional Kendogi, but it's not. If you open it up, it's got a kind of sheen to it because that's the polyester threads in it. All right, and essentially what that does, it makes it very, very light, and it makes it quite good at absorbing sweat. You can't wash it like you could like something like our kachi, which is 100% polyester. You can't put it in the washing machine. You have to wash it more like a traditional Kendogi, otherwise you're going to wash all the dye out of it. But it is very lightweight, and it's very, very fast drying. I have found that it dries very, very quickly. It's pretty comfortable, and it's a nice sort of traditional looking lightweight Kendogi, if that's the sort of thing that you're looking for. Color wise, it's also very good. What I've got here, this is my Kiyoi Kendogi. All right, the KendoStar Kiyoi Kendogi. I've used this one maybe 2 or 3 times. I think the color on the Kiyoi is a little bit stronger. It's a little bit deeper. And the Kiyoi fabric is probably, in terms of thickness, I'd say the Kiyoi is about the same. In terms of thickness and weight, they're very, very similar. The Kiyoi is 100% cotton, of course, izome cotton. Okay, so this is going to turn you blue as well, at least at the beginning. As you can see, though, this is a deeper color. So I do think the color on the Kiyoi is a little bit, as I say, deeper than on the HIRAMEKI, but that's probably because this doesn't have as much of the izome cotton threads in it, and some of it is indeed polyester. 40% of it is polyester. I think you'll find there'll be less shrinkage in this one, in the HIRAMEKI, as opposed to something like the Kiyoi. So that's something worth bearing in mind. And of course, the other thing to think about is the Kiyoi has this different pattern. Rather than the orizashi, it's got this very traditional sort of pattern instead, which is, obviously some people like it, some people don't, but I like it a lot. I think it looks really cool. So it's a really nice Kendogi. To the touch, I would say the Kiyoi feels softer as well. All right, it feels a little bit softer, but again, that's probably down to those polyester threads, which do have a little bit of roughness to them. Both beautiful Kendogis, but this video is about the HIRAMEKI, not the Kiyoi. But I just wanted to show it you next to it. But that's the HIRAMEKI Kendogi. I think it's an awesome little Kendogi, and it's a great one if you're looking for a very lightweight sort of this kind of style of Kendogi, if that makes sense, with especially if you want the hishizashi on the bottom. Right, let's have a look at the Hakama now. The Hakama, this is the HIRAMEKI FT Hakama. As you can see, again, I've worn this I've worn this once already, and I have washed it. It's a great Hakama, and I think it's not too different. I've got the Koi Hakama as well. You can compare the colours. They're very, very similar in colour, actually. I'd say that once again, the Koi is that slight bit darker, but again, that's probably down to the fact that it's 100% cotton versus this one's 40% polyester mix in it. They both have the pleat lock stitching. It's the same on both in that regard. And I'd say in terms of the fabric itself, there's a couple of key differences. I think one thing about this HIRAMEKI, the fabric, the touch, to the touch, the Koi is much softer, all right? It feels much softer. This has a little bit of stiffness to it. But one thing I've definitely noticed about this HIRAMEKI is it's very good. Now, I've washed this once, I've worn it once, and you can see there's no creases other than the pleats that are supposed to be there. So it's very, very wrinkle resistant. I have to say that. It's very, very wrinkle resistant. And it's also got this very interesting feature about the fabric. It's kind of, I don't know if I can get this on the video that well, but it's sort of stretchy. It has a sort of stretchiness to it, and that's because of that polyester, those polyester threads in it. Okay, so again, it's dyed, all right, so it's going to turn you blue still, and it's got that beautiful, brilliant traditional look to it. Okay, so there's that's definitely something you have to be aware of. All right, so despite the polyester mix in it, it does have that genuine isomer. So it means you get that proper color, the proper color that you want. All right, now as I say, I think in terms of thickness, they're probably similar. I'd say they're very similar in terms of thickness as well, and probably in terms of weight, they're very similar. This is the Koi, the KendoStar Koi, and this is the HIRAMEKI, HIRAMEKI FT, sorry, I should say. So essentially, it's just that difference in the touch of the fabric. This, with that polyester, the other thing I would say, it's got a slight sheen to it. Can you see that? It's got a slight sheen, which you don't get from the full 100% cotton Koi. Okay, so that's a little bit of a unique feature, but it does sit very nice. I've got to say, when you're wearing it, it sits very, very nice, and it's very, very wrinkle resistant. Just like the Koi, this video is not about the Koi, it's about HIRAMEKI, but just like the Koi, it has the tapered himo as well. Okay, so they come to a taper, very easy to wear, very very nice. And I'll tell you one thing that is a very interesting feature about it that's probably useful for some of you. It does come in half sizes. All right, it does come in half sizes, especially I think it's oversized 25. From size 25, you can get a 25.5, you can get a 26.5, you can get a 27.5. So if you're very concerned about sort of that much difference on the length of your Hakama, then it's not a bad choice in that regard. You can have a look on the sizing chart. It's all very, very detailed, and you can see what kind of sizing you can expect from the HIRAMEKI FT. But that is the HIRAMEKI FT, both the Kendogi, which is here, the Kendogi, and the Hakama. You can see the colour match very, very well. All right, as a set, it is a beautiful set. I've got to say, it's very nice. I've very enjoyed wearing it. Performance-wise, I'd say performance-wise, it's very close to the Koi. All right, it's very, very close to the Koi, but probably I am impressed with how wrinkle resistant this fabric is, though I would like it if it was a little bit softer, more like the Koi. All right, so if you want that soft touch, the Koi is the one to go for, but this one is that little bit more wrinkle resistant. All right, and there we go. That is the HIRAMEKI FT Kendogi and Hakama that is now part of the KendoStar imported series. Thank you for joining me.